7th meeting all time between the 5th-ranked Tigers of LSU and the Reds of Ole Miss. And with that, we say welcome to the final Saturday night in September. Along with Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. Two things we know for sure. We are jacked to be here.
Yeah.
Genuinely excited about tonight. And also, no one expected LSU to be in this spot. Expectations were not high. They rip off 2 wins against top 10 teams in the first 3 weeks, and here they are.
I mean, just look at what a difference a month makes for Ed Orgeron and this LSU program. A lot of anxiety for the LSU faithful in the offseason. The month of August was a month to forget for Ed O. The transfers, obviously the 2 quarterbacks that transferred, 3 guys suspended from the team. They didn't know. A lot of questions on offense, new quarterback, new running back, new coordinator, everything new. But all they've done is beat 2 top 10 teams, and they put themselves in great position.
They'll be tested here tonight. Let's do an alphabet soup or gumbo, if you will, including these surroundings. Todd McShay is down on the field. We know all about DBU, about the great defensive backs. What about NWO, the nasty wideouts of Ole Miss?
We're loaded with talent on that side of the ball. It's going to be fun to watch. Rarely do you get 5 first-round picks on the field at the same time, Steve, and that's what we've got tonight when Ole Miss has the ball. Their wide receivers, you mentioned, DK Metcalf, A.J. Brown, then Greg Little at the left tackle spot. Then on the defensive side, you got Greedy Williams and Devin White at the linebacker spot. It's going to be an awesome matchup to watch tonight.
And we will do just that. Both the Rain and Garth Brooks, calling Baton Rouge, have wrapped up. And we are ready to roll. Better than 100,000 on hand here at Tiger Stadium. LSU has won the toss, and they have deferred. The true freshman, Avery Atkins, kicks it away. And it will go out of the end zone for the touchback. Jordan Ta'amu, the quarterback, he is not taking the typical path of your average SEC signal caller. Played his high school football in his native Hawaii, had 0 scholarship offers. Zippo went to the New Mexico Military Institute for 2 years, had a big sophomore season there. Offers only from Minnesota and Ole Miss. He settled nicely into Oxford.
And this is the game a year ago where Jordan Ta'amu got his opportunity. Shea Patterson was hurt in this game in Oxford. Ta'amu, all he did was come in and lead 2 scoring tries right off the bat.
Everybody's been waiting for this one. Ta'amu throwing, juggled and dropped by A.J. Brown. Down to Todd, McShay matchup.
Yeah, I mentioned in the open with the 2 wide receivers, the first-rounders, talking about DK Metcalf and then A.J. Brown. We only got 1 first-rounder in corner and Greedy Williams. Going to be very interested to see how they match him up in this game tonight.
Well, Todd, he's matched up on DK Metcalf at the bottom of the screen.
2nd and 15 to throw. Shot down the sideline, and it is intercepted. Let's see if he was in bounds.
Everybody wants to talk about Greedy Williams, but Grant Delpit is emerging as a star on this defense for LSU. Here he is right here. He's just going to read the eyes of Jordan Ta'amu when he tries to throw this fade to the outside. Look at this range, Steve. Look how far he goes to go and get this football. That is athleticism, it's anticipation, and it's executing and finishing on the back end.
Looked like a true center fielder coming out of nowhere to make a diving grab. For Delpit, his 2nd interception of the season, and LSU will take over with outstanding field position. With Nick Brosette, the ball carrier, he'll cross midfield.
And that's going to be something to watch, okay? That's going to be something to watch, is how they play DK Metcalf defensively.
Joe Burrow, the transfer from Ohio State, where he backed up a couple of years, did not win the starting job, and he moved on. We've seen that in college football.
He's been in some big games already for LSU, obviously. Miami and on the road against Auburn. But the first opportunity for him to play here in Death Valley at night against an SEC opponent. See how he handles it.
Second down and 6, just across midfield. On the ground, two rows set. Josiah Coatney makes the stop.
The biggest question marks for LSU coming into this game is the health of that offensive line. Not Garrett Brumfield out for this game. They suspended Ingram, who was their best player in August. No Sadiq Charles, no Chasen Hines. So your left guard is going to be Donovan Campbell, and your left tackle, Adrian McGee, who they get back from injury. This is the 5th starting lineup, 5th change for them in 5 games.
6 defensive backs for the Reds. Burrow to throw, and nearly intercepted. Fight for the ball, D. Anderson and Jalen Julius. And it falls harmlessly to the soggy turf.
Great play by Jalen Julius. They brought a corner fire off the weak side. That left Julius one-on-one with the rising D. Anderson, who's getting more and more looks and more confidence. But Julius there just in time to knock that football away.
Enter Cole Tracy, the local cult hero.
This is right in his range, 53.
53 on the button to put LSU on the board. Snap in place, a perfect. And the field goal off the crossbar and no good.
Wow, he had a 54-yarder earlier in the year that skipped off of the crossbar and in. I think that Coach O might need to adjust the range to 52 from 54.
On first down, here's Scotty Phillips into the secondary. First down yardage across midfield. Brought down by Greedy Williams, but not until a gain of 23.
Scotty Phillips has to impact this game for Ole Miss offensively.
Back to Phillips. First down yardage, and they're mixing the run with the pass.
You have to weather the storm, the initial storm that Ole Miss is going to throw at you. They did it against Alabama, for crying out loud, okay? They had a long touchdown pass. You have to get used to the speed, to the combination of how they run inside and throw outside.
And the Alabama game was a 7-7 game, and that was 62-7. 9.5 to go in the first quarter. Second possession for Ole Miss. Incomplete. Braylon Sanders could not bring it down. Christian Fulton had the coverage. They faked it into the belly of Phillips.
I'm fascinated to watch this matchup between these wideouts, as we mentioned, against these defensive backs. It's going to be man-to-man coverage. Dave Aranda is kind of drawing a line in the sand right now, saying your guys are going to have to beat our guys. And there's going to be a lot of tight, contested throws and catches. Can Ole Miss bring them down consistently?
Tamu throwing. DK Metcalf came back to his quarterback and still couldn't make the play.
Back-to-back drops in the red zone, on the road in this kind of environment. These are the things that drive Matt Luke crazy. This team is trying to get to the next level. They depend on their offense and their best players or receivers. They got to make the play.
3rd and 10. Dropped again. DeMarcus Lodge could not haul it in the back corner of the end zone.
Wow, 3 drops in a row, Steve. This is a great job by Jordan Ta'amu, giving Lodge an opportunity. It's right there. Even if he caught that ball, it doesn't look like his left foot would have come down in bounds. That's just an awareness of where you are on the field. Lodge not able to convert.
Here's Luke Logan. 30-yard field goal attempt. On the way and puts it through. And Ole Miss breaks the score sheet. 3-0 Rebels. All of us at ESPN send our condolences to Wade's parents, Faye and Wayne, his friends and family. Very tragic loss. Clyde Edwards-Elan out of the end zone. We'll bring it out to the 18-yard line. Ball spotted at the 19th. Make the pitch. And on the run, Foster Moreau, a tight end. Very close to first down yardage. Jalen Julius appeared to be okay when he came off the field. Keydron Smith will take his spot. Second down and 1. It's like Chris Curry will have enough forward progress. The man they call baby beast mode as he runs like Marshawn Lynch.
Nick Brissett really has become their bell cow, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Curry certainly have been supplementing him. And Steve Ensminger, the new offensive coordinator, wants to get this run game going, but then he also wants to take 8 shots a game. That's what Coach O wants him to do. We'll see if they do that tonight.
Also got another Fournette on the roster as a running back. We'll watch for Leonard. First down and 10. Just beyond the 30. Burrow takes a look at who's behind him. It's Edwards-Helaire behind him, now in front of him for first down yardage. All right, Adnan, thank you. We understand if your attention is a little divided, at least for our first half tonight. Adnan will keep you posted on everything else going on. Burrow on the money to Stephen Sullivan coming across.
Big time throw from Joe Burrow, and he gets pounded in the backfield. But we mentioned it, right? What Steve Ensminger wants to do, run the football, and then these hard play actions. Coach O is telling us they want to do that with 2 wide receiver routes, keep protection in, and allow these big wide receivers to eat on the back end.
Gain of 19 there against Smith in place of Julius. Something to watch for. You know LSU is aware. Edwards-Helaire moving down to the 20-yard line. He's got first down yardage. Gain of 8 on the play.
This is their outside zone. That's their version of the outside zone for LSU. They want to press outside and then allow the running back to cut. It's nicely done.
Burrow to throw. Taking a shot. It is caught. Jamar Chase for the touchdown.
The big time throw and catch here. Jamar Chase, just a true freshman. The back shoulder throw, gets the foot down inbounds. And Joe Burrow has made a living so far this season in the Auburn game and now here in the first quarter of this football game with a back shoulder throw for the touchdown.
You know, LSU does not have the high level of receivers that Ole Miss does, but LSU has excellent depth at the wide receiver position, and Jamar Chase is a part of that. The extra point is good. Under 6 to play here in a loud first quarter from Tiger Stadium. Burrow goes 3 for 3 on the drive, paying it off with a touchdown pass to Jamar Chase. Ole Miss trailing by 4 with Elijah Moore out to the 20-yard line. It's an unbelievable night slate of games. Usually there's 1 game, 2 games. Feels like there are 4 or 5 big ones out there tonight. So again, we understand if your attention is somewhat divided. We'll let you slide for our first half a little bit. But that's why Adnan is there. Keep you updated on everything going on in college football. Ole Miss the throw to A.J. Brown. He'll lower the shoulder and get out just shy of the 25. Greedy Williams on the coverage.
You got to get this wide receiving crew with their attention fully on this game, because the 3 drops at the end of the last drive prevented a touchdown. That's 4 points you're not going to get back. It's the difference in the game so far.
I mean, if that's their one advantage in the game, they can't have those guys dropping footballs. On the ground, Scotty Phillips, the spin move. He's out across the 25. Greedy Williams makes the stop, and if you think Greedy's on the birth certificate, no, it's not. That's not his real name. In fact, his grandmother gave him that nickname. He was a baby. They used to give him a bottle. Was never enough milk. She kept calling him Greedy.
So he and Jim Harbaugh.
Can't blame the kid for wanting more milk. 4 tackles already on the young evening for Greedy Williams. Just 3rd and 4. Tabo has a man wide open and overshot DeMarcus Lodge. Had it for a big gain.
LSU is very fortunate. The corner fell down. That's Kelvin Joseph. just a little bit of a double. Ooh, great release off the line of scrimmage by DeMarcus Lodge, and Tamu just wants that one back because that was a touchdown. He normally hits those, but you put a little bit more air on it. When a guy's that wide open, don't try to make the perfect throw. Give it a little bit of air and let him run under it.
Luke Logan back to punt it away from the 16. Jonathan Giles is back for LSU. Called for the fair catch out of the 27-yard line. That's where LSU will take over with their 7-3 lead. It's a 47-yard punt. With Leonard Fournette in the backfield behind Joe Burrow. And Fournette will get the carry. Trying the right side off for size, and he's out beyond the 35-yard line. Jaquez Jones made the stop. We asked the coaching staff about the similarities between the Fournette boys, and they said, well, look, Leonard is really good, but his brother was really special. Hey, very good is good. Not everybody can be special.
That's not fair to him. Like, he's a different kind of player. You can see he's a different kind of build. He's a little bit quicker, more of a slasher, whereas we all know what Leonard Fournette was in the SEC for a long time.
We'll see if Fournette's going to be healthy enough tomorrow as the Jaguars host the Jets. First down yardage on 2nd down and 3. Willie Hibbler made the stop.
Steve, I was watching a lot of tape of LSU's offense in preparation for this game. One guy stood out to me. It's their center. His name's Lloyd Cushenberry, and he's starting for the first time this season, and he has quickly become one of the leaders of this football team. Excellent center. He's very athletic, very smart. Watch him tonight in the middle of this offense and how he gets to the second level, gets on linebackers, and reaches defensive linemen. Very impressive.
79 and white. First down and 10. Off the play fake. Burrow gets it away. Racy McMath down the sideline. Spins once more and loses the football. They're going to say he was down after a 23-yard gain. C.J. Miller was trying to go the other way with the football.
Ed Orgeron was telling us they want to get Racy McMath into this football game. He's a receiver. They've converted him to a tight end, and he's begun to make plays almost immediately. You're right, that right elbow was clearly down.
It's Burrow again, the ball carrier. It's the Joe Burrow showtime.
You know, Brian, the whole night I've noticed how quick he is going through his progressions. Burrow really, if he doesn't like what he sees initially, he's going to that second read, then quickly to his third read, and then it's out of there, whether it's the check down or taking off running. Listen, he doesn't have the biggest arm, he's not the biggest guy, and he's not the most mobile quarterback, but the reason they're winning and having success on offense, I think a big part of it is because of his quick decision making.
There's no question, and that's the coach's kid. I mean, we say that a lot, and sometimes it's a nasty moniker that you're a coach's kid, but in this case, it's certainly helping him.
Burrow gives it to the first man through. That's Torrey Carter, the fullback. He has the first down on 2nd and 2. Burrow also is not really experienced. Look, he's been around, right? 3 years in the Ohio State program. But tonight he's making just his 5th start as a college quarterback.
Been impressive. And talk about his father as the defensive coordinator, Jimmy Burrow, at Ohio, University of Ohio. And it's a really unique thing because when you have a defensive coach as a father, you look at things differently, right? And he's looking at Joe saying, hey, man, this is how I would play you. And it's a little bit of a different look, and I think it helps him.
Handoff. Nick Brossette. Second, third effort into the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
This is a great sign for this LSU offensive line. They've had some injuries. They've had some guys suspended, but they have continued to work and get this team in a position where they can run the football consistently in this football game, and it's been all on the ground for them.
Cole Tracy puts the extra point through. 9 plays, 71 yards in under 4 minutes for the score.
And such an impressive start for LSU. Running the football on the ground behind the big uglies. Joe Burrow making quick decisions. Receivers making plays. LSU's got to roll it.
Back for the final minute of play. here in Baton Rouge, better known as Death Valley, on a Saturday night, late night start. Has all the makings. Ole Miss and LSU. Tigers missed a field goal their first opportunity, but have come back with consecutive touchdowns after that. For a 14-3 lead. Ole Miss comes out firing. Big stick. Braden Fehoko.
Well, Fehoko gets the stick. He's coming right here, but watch Delpit come off the edge. Fehoko is just too quick. He beats the pulling guard. That was almost intercepted by Delpit.
One of the few players that Coach Aranda said they're going to try to rush a little bit more off the edge. They've got to manufacture a run.
Here's the pressure. Tomo gets out of it. Directing traffic down the sideline and off the fingertips of A.J. Brown. It falls incomplete. Third down.
You're exactly right, Todd. They brought Delpit again off the edge. He's a leading sack man on this LSU team. They've had a hard time getting pressure on opposing quarterbacks, so Dave Aranda's trying to be creative. And Delpit, he says, one of my best edge rushers. He almost got Tamu there.
K'Lavon Chaisson is maybe their most gifted player, the pass rusher, out for the season. Injured his knee in the opener. Tamu has missed on his last 5. 3rd and 10. Do I hear 6? Tamu didn't feel the backside pressure, and he's dropped. Who else? It's Grant Delpit again. Adding to his sack totals.
And this is a coverage sack all the way. It was picked up by the Scotty Phillips. Delpit's going to come here, and Scotty Phillips going to pick him up. But look back here. There's nowhere to go with the football. Tamu is holding that ball. Got fooled by Dave Aranda, one of the best defensive coordinators in all of college football. And one of the things that he does best, Steve, is he'll get pressure, but he won't give up any easy throws on the back end. And that time he got Tamu.
It's also the reason he's the highest paid coordinator.
Freshly minted $2.5 million.
In all the land. Pretty good gig, and you don't have to deal with all the fundraising and all the boosters and all the alumni. Just get to coach the defense. It's going good right now for the home team. 14-3 Tigers after 1. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay. We welcome you to the second quarter, and there you see defensive coordinator Dave Aranda calling all the right plays, pulling all the right strings. 9 straight games without a first quarter touchdown allowed. In its simplest form, almost ensures you get off to a good start in the football game.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, one of if not the best. He and Brent Venables, in my opinion, defensive coordinators in all the land.
Mac Brown gets it away, and it'll take an Ole Miss bounce down to the 17-yard line. Rich Eisen will appreciate the love for the punter, Mac Brown. That's a career-long 63-yard punt. That has LSU backed up to their own 17. And on first down, Nick Brissett able to get out to the 20 for 3 yards.
You see Joe Burrow getting into a rhythm here now. His first night game here against an SEC opponent. They've scored 2 touchdowns, and they've been able to run the ball on the ground. They've been able to throw it. He looks comfortable. Decisions are being made quickly, as Todd mentioned. And Joe Burrow, every game he's playing, he's getting more and more comfortable in this system.
Off the play fake. Burrow, who's rushed twice, make it 3 times, and he stumbles out of bounds. Can't get enough of these McShay matchups.
I know you love it, Levy. Listen, I think it's been all the backs tonight, and really the offensive line, but you really have to look at the run game. And Nick Brissett, what he's been able to do, 15 carries of 10-plus yards this season, second in the SEC. And I think Javian Hamilton's the other guy to keep an eye on. They moved him as 177 pounds from corner into that star position, so he's going to have to strap it up tonight.
What I love is the pose that leads into the McShay matchup.
Yeah, he slipped that in on us.
America needs more McShay matchups. Here's Burrow to throw and connect to Stephen Sullivan for the first down.
Well, you wonder who's going to follow up. You know, Leonard Fournette, Darius Geis, right? Those are hard shoes to fill, and it's been by committee tonight. And I think that's what Steve Ensminger wants to have accomplished. You got to have more than one back in the SEC.
Here's Brissett, the ball carrier with a fresh set of downs. He's out to midfield.
But we talked about that, Todd, right? It's the little things that Joe Burrow does well. He's not going to bowl you over with his arm strength. He's not going to throw it 70 yards down the field. But he's going to make 5 or 6 little thing decisions, little plays like that, running with his feet, getting a guy offside, throwing a back shoulder, making a check down. That is what the stability that Joe Burrow has brought to this LSU program.
On the ground, and Chris Curry. He'll get a yard, and they'll bring up 3rd and 4. What I love about Burrow is sort of a no-nonsense, simple guy. Everybody's talking about the play against Miami where he checked out at the line of scrimmage, and he said, look,
it was a good play.
I don't get the big deal. This is him talking. He said, there were more guys on the left, so I threw to the right. He's my kind of guy, Grease. No technology, terminology, mumbo-jumbo.
I think he understood who he was talking to when he was talking to you, and kind of dumbed it down.
You were in the room, too. So was McShay.
I just like, you know, he's a little quirky. He wears one sock inside out, you know, and that's kind of, I thought that's what you were going to say, what you liked about him most.
No, that really bothers me, actually. But he's on the run now. We'll check his socks after the play. Forced out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Joe Burrow, he's a running quarterback. 26 rushes on the season coming into tonight. Gets 14 yards on the play there, and he is the Tigers' leading rusher.
And that's his 3rd rush of this game. And you see, when you're able to run and have the halfback be your lead blocker, you gain 1 on the defense.
Here's Nick Brissett. He's tripped up at the line of scrimmage and doesn't get back there. Bring up 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 11. Kadir Shepard, a junior from the Bronx, able to trip him up. Again, this all started because of a 4th and 1. The hard count getting Ole Miss offside. Now they're inside the red zone on 2nd and 10. Burrow to throw for it. Heavy contact, easy flags fly. Julius on the coverage, too much.
I'm not sure what technique they're coaching at Ole Miss with these corners. I mean, they're tackling receivers, and it's an easy call. Julius is all over Anderson. I mean,
pass interference, defense number 26. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
Yeah, that's the badly beaten technique. I got to try something.
Well, he wasn't badly beaten. It wasn't like he was 2 yards beyond him. He was running right next to him. He just had his hands all over. He was assaulted.
7th penalty on Ole Miss. Just under 10 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter.
I would continue to throw that ball out there based on what's happened already. You've had a touchdown on a back shoulder throw, and you've had 2 penalties on corners.
On the ground, Brissett already has 1 rushing touchdown. Not going to get there that time. Sanogo in the middle makes the stop.
This is the area of the field where LSU has really liked the Wildcat. And they take Joe Burrow out and put him as a wide receiver, and Ed Orgeron lets his big fellas come off the line of scrimmage, and they've been using predominantly Clyde Edwards-Helaire, number 22, and that's what you're going to get right here.
22, the running back. Had a wide open man to his right, and elects to stay on the ground. Did he get there? He did. Touchdown! Clyde Edwards-Helaire had many, many options there.
And there you have it. Great individual effort from Edwards-Helaire. That's why they love him down there inside the 5-yard line. But he doesn't love to throw the ball. You see, Joe Burrow up here, is nobody covering him. But I guarantee you, when you put a halfback and a quarterback, they're not seeing the field. All they're seeing is the football and the hole they have to hit. A great effort from Edwards-Helaire.
So Verdon Dasher trying to drag down Edwards-Helaire and just wasn't strong enough. So after the missed field goal, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns for the Tigers. They open up a 20-3 lead. Tracy on for the extra point. Boots it through. 8:59 left in the half. 21-3 Tigers. Billy Cannon's Halloween run is one of the most famous plays in college football history. This week LSU added a statue of Billy Cannon to outside Tiger Stadium. 1959, the Heisman Trophy winner. That was the only touchdown of that game. And he's the only Heisman Trophy winner in LSU history.
Wow.
That's amazing, right?
That is amazing.
So many great players here over the years in their 125th year of playing collegiate football. 21-3, the 5th-ranked Tigers. And Ole Miss in desperate need of a spark, starting from their own 25. Jordan Ta'amu to throw. Down the sideline, taking a big shot. DeMarcus Lodge was there. Excellent coverage. Christian Fulton got a hand in there to knock it away.
Well, you talk about getting a spark, and they got to get the spark by the thing they do best, which is running downfield. This time, the shot to DeMarcus Lodge. Look at that throw. I mean, you can't walk that ball out there any better. The only thing better than that throw was the coverage from Christian Fulton.
See the numbers on Ta'amu. They are ugly. 3 of 12. Ta'amu to throw again, tipped, and falls to the turf. A.J. Brown off his fingertips, could not haul it in.
Yeah, the numbers look terrible for Jordan Ta'amu, but he's had 4 drops already in this football game. These receivers, everybody talks. You give yourself a name, the
Yes.
NWO, right?
Yeah.
Back it up. When you come on the road in a hostile environment, you got to play your best if you're going to talk like that, and so far they haven't been able to do it.
Well, where's that belt right now? It should stay in the box if somebody makes a big play for the quarterback. Ta'amu gets the pressure. And he'll just throw it away. Ole Miss will have to punt.
Take a look at the drop, Steve. I mean, there were 3 on this drive. Should have been a touchdown to DeMarcus Lodge on the 3rd drop. This was a drop from Metcalf. A.J. Brown's had a drop. This was a drop from Lodge. I mean, this is just not the standard that these wide receivers have set for themselves. And if they're going to compete in this game on the road, they got to make those plays. It's pure and simple.
And it's wet, yes, but LSU's receivers are catching the ball today.
Yeah.
Excellent pressure. Able to get it away from the 26. The Tigers will take over on 1st down and 10. Scored touchdowns their last 3 possessions. Conversely, Ole Miss has gone 3 and out on their last 3 possessions. On the ground, some heavy hitting. Edwards-Helaire is clocked by C.J. Miller.
This offensive line is coming off the ball, Steve. It's been impressive. You know, we didn't quite know how this offensive line was going to come together. We mentioned Cushenberry, the center in the middle. Now you see the true freshman Chasen Hines at left guard, 57 there. He's 340 pounds. He's been injured this week a little bit, so not 100%, but getting some meaningful snaps.
2nd and 6, Burrow to throw. Lofts one, man fell down in coverage. It's Justin Jefferson down the sideline for the score. 65 yards, another touchdown for the Tigers. Fourth consecutive touchdown for LSU. Tracy goes through the extra point. It's 28-3.
You get the run game going, and we talked about it. The passing game down the field comes off in play action. This is just Jordan Jefferson and this defense trying to come off, falls down, slips. There's nobody left, and this is a reoccurring theme for Ole Miss defensively. Coach O told us Yesterday we talked to him. He said, listen, we have to be better throwing the ball on first down. And if you can run it, you can run that play action off first down, and they've gotten big chunks in this game so far.
28-3 LSU. And Elijah Moore won't have a chance to return that. That allows Ole Miss to move across midfield. 61 seconds left. Ta'amu makes the throw, and A.J. Brown the grab. And again, anytime A.J. Brown is involved, we'll watch for extracurriculars from LSU.
Well, now if I'm Jordan Ta'amu right now, I'm going to take a shot on Greedy Williams. I don't know where his head is.
Exactly.
The coach is yelling at him over there, and you got Metcalf lined up on him at the top of the screen.
Ta'amu able to complete. It's Dawson Knox, the tight end, his first catch. Ole Miss has 1 timeout remaining, 50 seconds left. The first down stops the clock. They'll move the sticks. Ta'amu's ball is right on the money to DeMarcus Lodge for first down yardage. 35 seconds left in the half.
And LSU now is allowing Ta'amu and these receivers to get back into a little bit of rhythm. They have been completely out of rhythm throughout the course of this first half, but this 2-minute drive might just get them back into the football game. Man-to-man coverage.
Ta'amu the pump. Here's the go part of it, and there's all sorts of contact, and flags come in. Katie Metcalf and Greedy Williams got tied up.
It looked like Metcalf pushed Greedy Williams down. Williams turned around, was looking for the football. It's very difficult to call pass interference when he does that.
Pass interference, offense number 14. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. I think first down.
I think that's the good call. It's the right call. The official is going to give the defensive back the benefit of the doubt when he looks back for the football. And Greedy Williams is so confident in his ability that he's able to turn around and know that he's still in phase with the receiver. And that's well done.
Metcalf is a guy who is so confident he wants the other team's best defensive back on him. He's getting it in Greedy Williams tonight. 10th penalty. 100 penalty yards taken away from Ole Miss tonight. We're not even at halftime yet. Heading that way. Ta'amu throws it. Battle for the football, and A.J. Brown wins that battle on Terrence Alexander and comes down inside the 5.
You continue to throw the ball up to these big wideouts, and that's not a bad strategy because they've proven time and again that they can come down. This time it's A.J. Brown. That's just a hope throw there from Jordan Ta'amu, and A.J. Brown makes it right.
35 yards. The receivers making plays they weren't making in the first quarter. 19 seconds left. Ta'amu throws for the end zone, and it's knocked away. Again, it's Greedy Williams on DK Metcalf. It was there, and he couldn't haul it in.
So interesting to watch Greedy Williams. He's not the biggest guy. You see, he's kind of slight of build, but he's 6'3", 184 pounds. He gives away 40 pounds to DK Metcalf, but he has no issues mixing it up and being physical in coverage.
Ta'amu gonna run for it. He's tripped up at the goal line. He's just short of the goal line with 9 seconds left. And Ole Miss is so fortunate they had 1 timeout left in the bank.
Big time play here from Rashard Lawrence, number 90. If he doesn't get the legs of Ta'amu, this ball is in the end zone. Looked like that ball may have come out, but he clearly recovered it. We'll bring up a decision here for Matt Luke. With 9 seconds and a timeout, you can still have everything in your arsenal running the football.
10 plays, 90 yards on this drive. Andre Anthony running onto the field late. A late substitution again for LSU's defense. Trying to stay in this ball game before halftime. Faking the throw. Too tall for Octavius Cooley, and the official goes down. 5 seconds left. It's Willie Huff, the umpire, who appears to be shaken up, and it's 4th down.
That's the 3rd time tonight, guys, that he has been in the way of a play to umpire. He's been knocked down 3 separate occasions.
If he wasn't there, that might have been a catch. I mean, you want to talk about the luck for Ole Miss. They have been snake bit in this game. Just bad luck and bad position there.
Grace, you kicking a field goal here? With 5 seconds left from inside the 1.
You got to get some points on the board.
What say you, Luke Logan? You'll never kick a shorter field goal. That from 17 yards away. Make it 28-6. Really?
Well, give credit to Rashard Lawrence there.
Send you back to Adnan Burke, Joey Galloway, Jesse Palmer in the studio. Gentlemen, take it away. You're watching the SEC on ESPN, presented by Geico. Getting set for a 3rd quarter action here on a rainy night in Louisiana, 28-6. The 5th-ranked Tigers leading the Rebels of Ole Miss. And LSU will get the football to start the half. Steve Levy with Brian Greasy. A soggy Todd McShay shortly from the field. 28-6, that's pretty much indicative of how the first half went. It was all LSU.
It certainly was. I think LSU came out offensively, 332 yards in the first half. They did it on the ground, through the air. And then their defense was really impressive. That was the marquee matchup that we wanted to see. This Ole Miss unit of wide receivers in Jordan Ta'amu against LSU's DBU, and so far it's been all LSU.
Ole Miss was plagued by drops in that first half and heavy penalty issues as well. Cole Tracy's family in California. This was the video of them watching Cole kick that game-winning field goal, a 42-yard field goal against Auburn as time expired. The first walk-off field goal in regulation in LSU history. And that, too, is mind-boggling. Check the flag.
I think that's been the biggest change in this LSU team from a year ago is the kicker, believe it or not.
Right.
I mean, they were atrocious kicking the football a year ago, and he has been nearly perfect so far this year.
Holding, offense number 73. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, 1st down.
He's picked up quite a following, not just here.
I picked up a few things,
Yes.
too, from
What
the
do you got there?
tailgate. This
Yeah.
is cold-blooded. Can
Yeah.
you read that?
What's in that glass, Grease? I'm a little concerned with what
It was
you
a
got in there.
tailgate. What do you put in there? I love that cup, right? It's
Yes,
awesome. This
it's
kid's
perfect.
been unbelievable.
So in his career, I think if you add up the attendance of everyone who's watched him kick before, there have been less people total than that are in the building here tonight. With the announced attendance, over 100,000 people. Cole Tracy was at Division II Assumption, which is in Worcester, Massachusetts. Their home attendance capacity was 1,500 people.
That's unbelievable.
1,500.
It's unbelievable. Well, but he was just so productive at Assumption, right? He's the leading active among kickers in the number of field goals made at 76.
Yes.
So, I mean, he has certainly proven himself. And we were asking Coach Orgeron about how he found him. He said it was all Greg McMahon, their new special teams coordinator, who was a longtime special teams coordinator for the New Orleans Saints. And he said, listen, I told Greg, I need a graduate kicker to fix our kicking issues. So Greg McMahon went out there and said, listen, I don't care about stars, right? He's an NFL guy. They don't have stars in the NFL. So he went to Division II Assumption and found this kid, and it has been unbelievable successful for LSU.
Here's 3rd and 24. I'll give you the kicker to the kicker story in a second, but it is amazing. They're just outside the 5. This is Burrow to keep the drive alive. To Leonard Fournette. Got some running room. And they'll come up shy of the marker. So after Tracy hits the field goal against Auburn, LSU fans started sending checks for $42.36, 42-yard kick. Tracy's uniform number is 36. Sending checks of $42.36 to Assumption College in Worcester as a thank you gift.
No, they didn't.
This over $10,000 have been raised. I heard Assumption's going to put in a new scoreboard or something like that. So,
I love it.
but they've got viewing parties in Massachusetts now, in California, where he's from.
I love the nickname Kick Tracy. That's my favorite.
And how could that be the first walk-off in regulation in LSU history? It's amazing that hasn't happened before. But and by the way, he missed a field goal tonight. All of that, and he missed a field goal here tonight. Or else it'd be 31-6. So they got to come up with some other ways, get creative on that pressure, try to get after the quarterback. Ta'amu is running the football, and he's out beyond the 35-yard line.
You know, Dave Aranda to me is one of the few guys that we meet with over and over again that really, I feel like I learned something, basically. And it was interesting, I thought, talking to Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator of Ole Miss, and he was saying, this is the hardest week of preparation every year when I go up against Aranda, because Aranda is, in my opinion, the best coordinator in the country.
DK Metcalf went up to bring that down.
Yeah, Todd, I think it's between Brent Venables and Dave Aranda. Those are the two guys that really continue to push the envelope and confuse defenses. I think it's really fascinating to see the relationship between Dave Aranda and Ed Orgeron. Because Orgeron, you know, as a defensive coach, you see a run up the middle from Scotty Phillips. But as a defensive coach, you would imagine that he would go into the defensive meeting room and he would say, look, this is how we need to do it. That is not how it happens at LSU. Dave Aranda is in control of everything.
First down and 10. It's Phillips again. Able to get inside the 40. What I took away from the meeting with Aranda was he said it was his day to sleep in yesterday, and that means 7 a.m. That's his sleep-in day. He's usually in the office at 4:45 in the morning, and he's the third car there.
What's your sleep-in day, Levy?
At 11:15-ish. Trying to get first down yardage, as DK Metcalf does. And if you're wondering who beats him, who are the two guys that beat him in the office before 4:45 a.m.? That's James Craig, the offensive line coach, and Greg McMahon, who you mentioned, the special teams coach.
Yeah. Early bird gets the worm.
That's what they say.
Coach O, I bet, is not far behind.
Ta'amu will launch one for the end zone, and Metcalf looked like he was dragging Christian Fulton with him on the coverage. Nate's going to expect a playoff ticket, is what I'm telling you.
I know he is.
Ta'amu throwing, gets it out to A.J. Brown on the flat. See if he had first down yardage.
Well, now with no DK Metcalf out there, Steve, it's going to flip the balance on this offense a little bit. A.J. Brown normally gets a little bit of protection from Metcalf because Metcalf draws a double team, and that allows A.J. Brown to work the middle of the field. But with no Metcalf in the game, now you can really focus on A.J. Brown.
Greedy Williams has not been in the game for quite some time now as well, shaken up. On third down and 1, it's Phillips. He has first down yardage. Down to the 20-yard line. Here come the Rebels with 6 minutes to play in the third. Trailing in a 3-score game, as you pointed out, as we approached halftime. I still would have gone for the touchdown, but that's me.
Understood.
Yeah.
But you get a touchdown here, right? Make it a 2-score game. I'd take a shot with A.J. Brown right now in the slot.
They elect to keep it on the ground with Phillips. Crashes down inside the 20 to the 18. Glenn Logan made the stop. Logan, a sophomore, dropped 40 pounds. Came to college eating pizza and drinking soda and switched to salads and waters. That's one way to lose 40 pounds. Why are you looking at me? I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to try that.
I just had the salad before the meal.
Like the pizza. What is this water you speak of? Flag on the play.
Snap infraction, number 50 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
Snap infraction.
Need a definition on that one?
No, I'm good. Okay. 14th penalty against Ole Miss tonight.
14 penalties.
How are you going to win a game on the road here with 14 penalties?
Double-digit missed tackles, right? Turnovers. I mean, that'll drive you crazy if you're a head coach.
There's your recipe for disaster. Ta'amu See some green in front of him, able to turn the corner. Out at the 10, Kelvin Joseph forced him out. True freshman from right here at Baton Rouge.
It's been a tough night for Jordan Ta'amu. This is a heck of a football player. I feel like we really haven't, talked about him and his skill set because he really hasn't gotten anything going so far in this game. But I know you score here, and it's a 2-score game. You never know what can happen. If I'm Jordan Ta'amu, I am still focused on doing my job, not trying to force anything. Take what the defense gives you.
That's Isaiah Woolyard to the left of Ta'amu. And it is Woolyard inside the 5. His first carry. True freshman. Hattiesburg.
That umpire's having a rough go of it tonight.
Wow. He's in the wrong place all the time. Wally Huff.
Look at the stains on the back of his shirt. He's been down on the ground. Looks like he's got a knee brace going.
Looks like he's a player.
He probably was a player. I mean, those umpires, that's the most difficult spot to officiate. He's giving a big sign right there. Where the legs of Jordan Ta'amu really come into play inside the 5-yard line.
13th play of this drive coming. A whole lot of happenings to give the football to Phillips for the 1-yard score.
Well, it looked like there was a lot going on there, but certainly it was meaningful, Steve, because they were in a zone read shotgun look, and they come up under center, which allows them to run the football with the power game coming off the line of scrimmage. Watch the hole and the push by this offensive line. Really nice hole for Phillips to get in the end zone.
Extra point on the way, and it is good. It's a 15-point game with 3:45 left in the 3rd quarter.
It's a 2-score game. I tell you, you give me all kind of grief for kicking the field goal at the end of the first half. And this is exactly the reason why you kick the field goal. But if Ole Miss is going to get back in this game, they found their rhythm on offense, but it really is about defense, and it's about tackling. The missed tackles in the first half, double digits, and so far they got to stop. On the first drive, LSU came out in the second half, but in order for them to get back in this game, they're going to have to play better on the defensive side.
I think that A.J. Brown hit that we saw late in the 2nd quarter before halftime, I think it kind of changed the mentality of this whole team. They came in and were shell-shocked. They were stunned early on, and LSU was the aggressor. And then all of a sudden that hit came. They get the field goal instead of the touchdown. I still agree with Levy. I would have gone for 6.
Thank you.
But ever since then, it's like they've come alive. Defensively, they're playing more physically. Offensively, they're starting to get some push up front. It just feels different. And by the way, half the crowd left at halftime for LSU. That just doesn't help the situation.
That's a great point. Good factor there. Edwards-Helaire trying to cut it up. You can see exactly what he's running into. They're running away from down the sideline of the 34. See what the offense can do. Burrow comes out throwing, able to hit with Justin Jefferson. And LSU has had lots of big leads this season, and games have tightened up on them in the second half. They're trying to avoid that tonight. On the way is Terrence Marshall. That's one way to hang on to a big lead. Marshall down the sideline. He is pushed out inside the 10-yard line. And it looked like Ole Miss had a chance to bring him down.
Jalen Julius, the corner. You got to make this tackle. You're in good position. Okay, he makes the play, but look at that. I mean, that's just horrible tackling by this secondary, and that's been the biggest issue they've had all season.
First down and goal. Edwards-Helaire. Down to the 6. Uzziah Cody makes the stop. Edwards-Helaire and Nick Brossette have really been sharing the bulk of the carries. They're super best friends, and yet they played at rival high schools growing up. They've been going up against each other, and here they're sharing the football, the running game for this LSU offense. Second down and goal. Burrow to throw. Justin Jefferson and some good defense. No missed tackle there. Ken Webster, who probably was the best cover corner on this Ole Miss defense until he blew out his knee back in 2016. He made the sure-handed tackle there.
Yeah, well, Wesley McGriff, he's got to find at least 4 guys back there that can tackle and do it consistently. Webster has been dealing with a hamstring injury, and finally he's getting back healthy. He needs to be out there. He's a little bit more physical than Jalen Julius, who just gave up that big pass play.
Come on, LSU has fumbled their last 2 trips into the red zone. Here they are knocking on the door again. Burrow to throw. And it is caught complete. Touchdown, Justin Jefferson. An answer, and in a hurry by LSU.
It's a great route from Justin Jefferson. They identified man-to-man coverage. Watch the patience from the route to come inside, act like you're running a slant, and then go out to the corner. And this ball is thrown perfectly from Joe Burrow right in the breadbasket. That is well executed. Jefferson is their double move receiver, probably their most reliable receiver. And in the red zone, they like to target him.
Extra point on the way and good. LSU responds in a hurry. 5 plays, 67 yards. And the drive, they answer quickly in less than 2 minutes. So, hey, these kids have a lot going on, there's no question. And look, it's worked out for Haskins in Columbus, and it certainly looks like it's working out for Burrow here. But we see this quarterback movement around college football now. It's not working out everywhere.
I'm good with the graduate transfers.
Yep.
That I completely get, and that's what's happening here with Joe Burrow. I just don't like the immediate knee-jerk reaction by some of these young quarterbacks that, like LSU had, right? Justin McMillan and some others. I don't like those kind of knee-jerk transfers at the quarterback position.
Well, the quarterback situation at Clemson, not all in good fun. What a week Dabo Swinney had. What a week he's going to have, and they still get away with the win today. See the status of Trevor Lawrence being belted today. And you wonder what Kelly Bryant is thinking. That will be discussed all week around college football. 35-13, LSU leads here at home. Final 90 seconds of quarter number 3. The SEC home opener for LSU. First look at Armani Linton. Thought about throwing it, and instead he'll cut it back and run with it for the first down. He's out to the 37-yard line.
It's a great decision. Yeah, it's a great decision by Armani Linton. He wanted to throw the ball back to Teamo. Here goes Teamo. This was a throwback pass. Not there, so they coach you. Retrace your steps. Go right back through how that play was going to be blocked, and that was well done.
Teamo will throw this to A.J. Brown. They're going to make another play. And again, you know the Tigers are looking to tee off on Brown still anytime they can. Memories are short. So are the tempers. 40 seconds left in this third quarter.
Well, it's been pretty consistent the way that Dave Aranda has decided to play these receivers. They're leaving Greedy Williams on DK Metcalf the entire night down here, and then they're just trying to react to A.J. Brown and get him on the ground when he has the football.
Teamo able to get it out to DeMarcus Lodge in some space. And he's got first down yardage. John Battle forced him out.
Well, Lodge continues to come on for this offense. They have 5 receivers that really are outstanding receivers. They got some young guys in Braylon Sanders and Elijah Moore, who they're really excited about, the true freshman. They think he's going to be an outstanding player.
Teamo to throw. And too high. Looked like it went through the hands of DK Metcalf. Metcalf goes from 6'4". When Teamo was missed, he's been high tonight.
DK Metcalf should not be out on that football field. I know he's trying to grit through it, but he's looked really gimpy out there. That ball was just, and you see Phil Longo saying, hey, are you okay? Are you all right? I know he's not going to draw up any plays for him right now if he can't run. He might just be out there for the decoy to keep Williams off of A.J. Brown.
Final play of the third quarter. Teamo with all sorts of time. Able to zip it in there to Elijah Moore. And that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. 5th-ranked LSU looking to keep their perfect season alive. They're having their way. The Rebels of Ole Miss. 35-13. on our way to the fourth. On ESPN. Steve Levy, Brian Greasy, Todd McShay. We open up quarter number 4 on a rainy night in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Jordan Ta'amu is on the run. Will get out across the 25 and has first down yardage. I don't want to name drop Grease, but I have Garth Brooks' personal cell phone number in my phone. Who is the most famous person you have number in your cell phone?
Todd McShay.
No, come on, really. John Elway? You got somebody bigger than Elway? How about outside of sports? McShay, who you got in your phone and you're rolling in your cell phone?
What kind of stupid question is that?
Yeah, right? I mean,
You don't have somebody famous in your cell
You
phone?
don't sound great right now, Levy.
You got Van Pelt's number? No? He won't give you his number either, huh?
Just email.
you are such a name dropper.
I don't want to name drop. De Niro told me
But-
never name drop. Bobby. I call him Bobby, but that's me. 2nd and 13. You're not going to give me anything?
No, I'm not giving you anybody in my Rolodex.
He already gave you McShay.
That was good enough, huh? On the ground. Woolard, the ball carrier. Bring up a 3rd down.
Whoa, that's jarring.
Put him in. That guy's not missing any tackles.
Look at you're onto something there.
3rd and 12. Those that have remained in the rain making as much noise as they can. Ta'amu buying time and throwing. And it is incomplete. Carey Vincent had the coverage on A.J. Brown.
I'll tell you what, this offense, when they get behind, like in these situations, this is an offense that doesn't have a whole lot of concepts, doesn't have a whole lot of plays.
Luke Logan will come on. From 40 yards away. He's already made from 30 and 17. On the way. And the sophomore from Hattiesburg has that one. Make things a little more respectable. 35-16. 13 minutes to play.
Next 2 weeks, we're going to find out a lot more about Joe Burrow.
And Ole Miss will kick it deep. Keep in mind, Burrow is also their leading rusher tonight with 58 yards. So he really is doing it all.
This LSU team, obviously, every single year we talk about the Alabama game. Alabama looks stronger this year than they ever have.
Yes. On the ground, row set, patiently running.
We were talking with Coach Orgeron yesterday, and I asked him, I know it's week to week, Coach, and you block out all the noise. That's his favorite saying, right? But I looked at him as he stood up and walked out. I said, you looking at that Alabama? You see what they're doing over there with Tua Tagovailoa and that offense? He's like, yeah, man, I see what's going on. Unbelievable what they have done. And Coach O says, listen, they won 62-7 against this Ole Miss team, and we're going to have a dogfight against them tomorrow night. Now, they've played well, but you can see the difference.
On the money to Justin Jefferson, spinning twice for extra yardage. You mentioned Tua Tagovailoa, and of course, Mackenzie Milton had another big game today. And the quarterbacks who get together, and Hawaii's producing great quarterback talent now, and they are very, very close.
All these guys are really close. They train together, Tua and Jordan and McKenzie, and they all idolize Marcus Mariota. No surprise there, but we were talking with Ta'amu last night, and he said, I really grew up going to Hawaii games and watching Colt Brennan.
It was interesting. He said back then he didn't even know anything about the SEC. He was focused on the WAC. Could you imagine that? And you get it if you're from there and you live there. And he's all about Hawaii. That's, what makes you special. What do the kids in the mainland don't know necessarily? He goes, we are here to spread the love, spread the aloha. That's what we want to do.
Right.
So. Here's Burrow for first down yardage. Speaking of Hawaii, by the way, Vili the Warrior is in the building. Now, he's looked better, and he's looked happier.
Who's Vili the Warrior? Tell me.
He was the mascot from Hawaii back in the day, and he's the father of Braden, who is so important to this LSU defense. The Fajokos,
wow.
You see them? Back in the day, all Braden wanted to do, you know, McShay gets to bring his son to work.
Right.
Right? And this is what Braden wanted to do. He went with his dad to work, to Vili.
Wow, that is so cool. They would do the shows, right, before the Hawaii games?
And you remember, their pre-games were like no other pre-games.
Wow.
Get the folks ready.
That's really cool.
You think a little rain's going to bother that guy?
No,
Guy's a warrior.
Not going to put out his fire.
Think he's worried about his hair right now? No chance.
Well, and Braden Fajoko has become an important part of this defense. He was a transfer from Texas Tech, but he has quickly assumed a leadership role. He's on the leadership council for Ed Orgeron, and his voice matters in that room. Now, speaking of that leadership council, they had a players-only meeting in August after they lost the 2 transfer quarterbacks, 3 players suspended. Every negativity swirling around Coach O, and he brought that leadership council, Devin White, Fajoko, Morrow, all together, and they addressed the team on their own.
On the ground, it's Burrow set. And I thought what White said was interesting. He said in the past, after tough losses, the leadership council would get together, try to settle the team. They wanted to get this straight before they could lose a game, before the season even started, get everybody on the same page with the transfers and what was going on with the program. And they have surpassed expectations. Coach O even admitted he did not think they would be in this spot at this time, but he said they were better than some of the so-called experts thought they were.
Yeah, he thought he had talent. He knew that, and he didn't want to let the fact that Lowell Narcisse and Justin McMillan transferred, and the next day he met with that leadership council.
I thought it was interesting, too, with Devin White saying that part of my message was to the young kids. That, you know, I looked around, and these guys were complaining about having to play on special teams, and that's how I made a name for myself. And if you want to be a part of this thing, then be a part of it and get involved on special teams. If you don't, then get out of this room. We don't want you here.
Well, Coach O's got them rolling now. 4-0 on their way to 5-0 and ranked 5th in the country with 10.5 to play here in the 4th quarter, leading 35-16 and looking for more.
I think they need to get Lloyd Cushenberry out of the game. Their center, he was a little shaken up. They're taking him out right now, but up 35-16. He got rolled up on one play. That is a player that they cannot afford to lose. They have had so many injuries, Steve, on that offensive line, and he has been the mainstay.
Cole Smith, the true freshman, has checked in behind Cushenberry. On the ground, Richborough set.
They've had a number of offensive linemen get hurt and rolled up. Here's Cushenberry right here. Let's see what happens if he gets rolled up. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're standing around as an offensive lineman, and that's your nightmare right there, is to get rolled up your knee. They've already had Chasen Hines get hurt. Sadiq Charles gets hurt. Garrett Brumfield hurt a knee, and he's been out.
And when Cushenberry is called the heart and soul, you think, oh, the heart and soul of the offensive line. No, no. The heart and soul of the entire offense is that center. There's Burrow on the run, and he will smartly step out. But that might have been close to another flag. 4th down upcoming.
That's a tough young man and one of the smartest players they have offensively. We were talking with Steve Ensminger about how crucial a role he plays, and that center position is so important. And we talk a lot about Joe Burrow making decisions and getting checks right, but Cushenberry just does the same amount.
26-yard attempt for Cole Tracy. On the way, and it is good. LSU has put up over 500 yards of offense handing it to Ole Miss tonight, 38-16.
There's a guy on the other side. You know, his name's Von Miller. I don't know if you heard of him. Familiar? Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. Hey, listen, Mr. Chiefs down there, okay? Mr. Red Hat.
So look, the reason the fantasy thing comes up is because in commercial we can hear the crowd asking McShay for fantasy tips down there on the field.
Things have gotten bad down here.
Are you giving good advice?
I handed it over. Let Greasy answer it.
Everybody wants to know Le'Veon Bell.
What should I do with Le'Veon Bell? McShay, what should I do? I said, ask Greasy.
I told him to pick up James Conner.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to be all over McShay's Chiefs on Monday night.
Yes, the Broncos-Chiefs battle is a personal battle here. Our broadcast group. Todd, as you know, is the preseason voice of the Kansas City Chiefs for many, many years.
Or 2 games.
Metcalf in and out of his hands. Todd, still raining down there by any chance?
Yep.
All righty.
Are you guarding the Magnolia Trophy over there, Todd?
Let me see.
It's right next to you, the other way.
Hey, there it is. I've walked by this 70 times tonight. I've seen it once.
It's all about the Magnolia Bowl.
It's beautiful.
Tamu completes to A.J. Brown, hit as he made the catch by Greedy Williams. Greedy hasn't had enough.
That was a lot of respect there from Greedy Williams, okay? You had a guy that was vulnerable. He knows A.J. Brown is a big-time receiver. He could have gone low. You know, he didn't. He just kind of said, hey, man, you're in a bad spot. I'm not going to hit you where you get hurt. Really like that approach and respect from Greedy Williams.
Matt Luke went 6-6 last year, had the interim tag, won the Egg Bowl, which was thrilling. The video was really emotional after that win. That really secured him the job as the full-time head coach.
Well, you got to think. I mean, he did get a job, but you still have to think that he's got to prove it, right? He's got to prove that he belongs in this spot. No question about it.
Everybody does. It's one thing to get the dream job. It's another thing to be successful and keep it under 7 to play in the fourth. So 15 missed tackles tonight. And you're trying to avoid these explosive plays, but when you miss tackles, you turn nothing into an explosive play. So, and it makes it clouds the judgment of LSU. Like, how do we know how good the Tigers are based on this performance because of the defense they were going up against?
You had to come in and you had to take care of your business. Okay, this is Ole Miss has some pride, right? They have a very explosive offense, and they played very well defensively against that offense. Obviously allowed only 16 points. I don't think we know yet. We can't say definitively LSU offensively would be able to compete, right, with Georgia, Alabama. Okay, so that's where we're going to have to get the rubber meets the road. But they did go on the road against a very good Auburn team and Auburn defense and defensive line and outgained them on the ground and through the air in that game and beat them on the road. So you got to give them credit. That's really what's giving the LSU faithful the most hope right now.
Those last 10 minutes at Auburn for Joe Burrow was really something else. And we asked the LSU coaching staff, were they surprised? Did Burrow show them anything in that spot? Because that was the real first big test for Burrow, see what they got. And they said, no, the lights are never too big for this guy. And we keep talking about the transfers, and it's Burrow and Tracy, the quarterback and the kicker, that have been the big difference so far for Ole Miss. I mean, rather for LSU. Burrow still running with the football. The Tigers' leading rusher will get him for the touchdown and take the extra hit at the end. Touchdown LSU. 35-yard run for the score for Joe Burrow. And I get the frustration from the guys in red. I do.
Yeah, that's Cedric Woods who hit him after he got into the end zone right as he got in there. And give him hustle. That's a hustle play from Woods. Now just don't stand over the guy. Listen, you're getting your butt whipped here in this game. There's no place to stand over a guy.
Extra point is on the way. Burrow has carried the football 9 rushes for 96 yards. 292 yards passing. Joe Burrow Have yourself a ball game. LSU on their way to 14. Well, Zed's not dead, but he was penalized. Zedrick Woods, 36, not number 8, was penalized the last unsportsmanlike conduct for standing over Joe Burrow. Tamu will slide down. 45-16, and the critics of Ole Miss will be like, hey, look what happens when you play, you know, some big boy teams, right? Got their doors blown off against Alabama, and then here at LSU, 45-16.
Well, we knew this team and this squad, as it's currently constructed, is not going to compete with the big boys in the SEC. It's just not where they are. And Matt Luke's got a long road ahead of him, but we kind of anticipated this team wouldn't be up to snuff with the big boys.
Should be one more snap. LSU will be set up for a test next week at Florida. Then they get Georgia here. And that'll always be a good time.
That's a really good idea there for Joe Burrow. Love up that offensive line. Go over there and tell them, hey, listen, man, I had a career night tonight. Almost 300 yards passing, almost 100 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Take care of the ones that take care of you.
Zeros on the clock. Maybe you'll hear from Coach O on SportsCenter and Scott Van Pelt. Final score, Baton Rouge, all LSU tonight, 45-16. With Brian Greasy, Todd McShay, our producer Josh Hopkins, director Mike Schwab, and our outstanding crew. I'm Steve Levy. It's been a pleasure to bring you a Saturday night game from Death Valley, Baton Rouge. Now to SVP SportsCenter.